What's up guys, Blade Master here, going to bring you a test of the Suebian roster. These are the Suebi champions. I'm going to be fighting them up against Langobards. Let's pause this right here. The Suebi champions, the reason why I've decided to fight them against Gordon's men and Gordon's chosen here, 2 Gordon's chosen and 2 Gordon's men, is because these guys are perfectly in between their price range, and they are very similar to the Gordon's men and Gordon's chosen in terms of what they are set out to accomplish in the battlefield. That said, there are some key differences. The first key difference is that their mass. They are very heavy melee infantry, whereas Gordon's men and Gordon's chosen are only medium, which means they are far less susceptible to an enemy cavalry charge than these guys. The second big difference is they only have the regular sword, which gives them a 36-4 weapon damage, so 4 is armor penetrating, whereas the Gordon's men have a massive 50 melee damage, of which 14 is armor penetrating. These guys have the long sword, or the Sparta I think it's called. And that's the same case for the Gordon's chosen, except the Gordon's chosen have even higher melee attack. The Suebi champions, besides that, are very similar. Both of these, all these units right here, the Suebi champions, Gordon's men and Gordon's chosen, all don't have shield wall and all have frenzy. The Suebi champions, the third big difference is that they have guerrilla deployment, which is not really relevant for multiplayers, but for single player it can make for a very interesting twist. These can be some incredibly powerful melee infantry to just rush out of a forest and then charge in. Although, since they are very heavy, their speed is very low at 31, so you really got to question how effective they can be in terms of guerrilla deployment sort of unit. So without further ado, let's take a look at the charge. Against these 2 Suebi champions will be against Gordon's men. These 2 will be against Gordon's chosen. These Suebi champions cost 675, so, Gordon's chosen cost 775. Gordon's men cost 550. I'm popping frenzy on these 2 Suebi champions, and Duke Eligos has popped frenzy on all 4 of the Gordon's units. Suebi champions pretty handily, well actually so far it's sort of even. They're losing slightly against the Gordon's chosen. Against the Gordon's men, they're doing roughly the same, it looks like. The Gordon's men are very easily able to stand toe to toe to the Suebi champions despite being cheaper. 50, 72, although in extended melee the Gordon's men really show their inferiority, at least in this battle. In this little engagement, again, I think the Suebi champions are going to be able to pull through this battle. Yeah, they're going to be able to pull through, even though the Gordon's men have Berserk, which means they stay forever fresh. Garnier Fructis forever fresh. They still won't be able to, the Gordon's men still won't be able to win out against the Suebi champions. Suebi champions will win out against Gordon's men. Against the Gordon's chosen, it's not even a fair fight. The Gordon's chosen very easily destroy the Suebi champions. Keep in mind that I didn't use frenzy on these guys, but still, the fact that these, yeah, another key difference between the Suebi champions and the Gordon's men is that the Suebi champions have unbreakable morale, so they're going to fight till the last man, which is another very handy trait in multiplayer. That said, these units are decent units. They're similar to the Vandal Berserkers, except that they have higher armor, so there's no real unit that you can compare them to. They're sort of in the mix among all of them. Possibly the Elite Palatina, but again, these guys have much higher armor than the Elite Palatina. So yeah, they've got very good morale, they've got okay-ish health, they've got very nice armor. The only big problem for them is that they have low melee damage. They're for a unit that costs 675 without access to shield wall, you really want that unit to have the Sparta, or whatever it's called, the heavy sword. Instead, they have the regular sword. And another thing is that they don't go berserk, so they do get tired, and that reduces their melee capabilities by a whole lot. So yeah, not really sure what to make of this unit. At the most I can say is that the Suebi champions are a decent unit, and you might want to bring 2 to 4 of them. Yeah, I think that's a fair trade-off. They're a decent unit that will last for a while. They don't have discipline or encourage, which is again very strange, considering that they look like they're unbreakable and champions. Shouldn't champions be able to encourage the allied troops? I would think so. Anyways, let's move into the Suebi warriors. Now the Suebi warriors are a single-handed axe unit, and look very, very bland. Just look at these guys, so bland. Even the shields suck. They're just they're so boring. Anyways, I hope that the one-handed axes have been fixed by CA. I'm not keeping my hopes up because even in the last patch they were supposedly buffed but still sucked. Now, one of the Suebi warriors are another very interesting unit. One of the Suebi warriors, one of the key differences between these guys and other one-handed axe units is that the Suebi warriors have very heavy mass, just like the Suebi champions. I'm going to charge one straight in and one in shield wall and just use and issue a move order past this Gordonsmen, two Gordonsmen that they're going to be fighting up against. The Suebi warrior does pretty decently on the charge. They have a 57 charge, which is breathtaking. An excellent charge for these guys. So you really got to think of why you would want to use shield wall on these guys. They have a bonus versus infantry with shield wall, but as you can see, the Suebi warrior without shield wall is getting 47 kills here, and this Suebi warrior only got 31 kills and is dropping much quicker than the other one. Maybe it's a glitch, but you can see that shield wall is activated. So yeah, that's pretty strange. The Suebi warrior, let's take a closer look at its stats. 47 melee attack, 32 weapon damage, pretty straightforward standard stuff there. The charge bonus is nice, very nice armor at 60, and that gives them a rare tankiness. Now the thing is, since they're one-handed axes, you can't really expect too much from them. Gordonsmen have destroyed them with 50 units remaining. The other one, the Gordonsmen have destroyed them with 58 units remaining, so it doesn't look like shield wall really provides them any sort of buff, unless, you know, the game glitched out or something. And I can see why. Because the charge bonus is foregone when they aren't in shield wall, when they are in shield wall, and that's a 57 charge bonus that you're forsaking for an increased 15 bonus versus infantry. And in this case, it doesn't look like the infantry bonus is really going to be good enough or high enough to compensate for that. So yeah, interesting unit. 110 health, again low on again on the low side, but high armor. All in all, wouldn't bring them. They don't have fear, they don't have the scare ability, blah blah blah. They have pretty poor armor. They have pretty poor morale. So all in all, a bit too expensive for my taste. But I guess a tiny little baby step in the right direction from CA in terms of one-handed axes. That's the end of my coverage of the Suebi unique melee infantry units, and you guys stay tuned for more tests, and peace.